G'day, this is Michael Graham. These are some of my favourite NTFL memories. I came to Darwin by following my brother Cecil up from Adelaide to St Mary's. He came to St Mary's, so I came to St Mary's. And that was the start of a long career at St Mary's. We won the premiership in Adelaide in '74. And I came up here at the end of that year for Cyclone Tracy and ended up staying up. St Mary's was a pretty successful club. They had a very good side. I found it easy to fit in because there were so many great players around at the time, which made it easy for me because I was used to playing down south, and come up in the year and playing with St Mary's was virtually a piece of cake because they're good players. Some of the first people that I met up here was Vic Ludwig, Spriggan Matthews, Jack Long. One of the, he stood out a fair bit, Jack, of the way he played, and I later got to know him pretty well. But you know, there were great players around at that time. Foxy Gregory, Johnny Pepperell, some of the ones I remember, Patrick Perron, Daddy Mary. Played with Ray Buckley, Billy Bennett, Bob Butcher, Hans I. Stratton, great player. Some of the other blokes I remember playing with over the years was, Catchett and Dunn was Dennis Dunn, or the Long Boys. I started with Jack, and I think in my last games I played, I ended up playing with Patrick. So yeah, that was one of the longest games I'd ever played. Yeah, it was quite a privilege to play with St Mary's because we had great club rooms, and people around the club were great, and it made it good for me because I slotted in quite nicely with the club. If you play football, you can fit in quite good at most clubs. One of the funniest memory I've got was I never drank when I came up here, and the boys took me out fishing because they never took any water, so I had to drink Carlton Light out on the boat. And when I came in, I was half stonkered, so you know, that was my first introduction to beer, and I'm an expert now. I must tell you one story that happened. We had St Mary's had a family day out at Waratah Oval, and all the boys they were drinking. That's when I wasn't drinking, see, and they're having a long kick comp. It was $100 for the winner, and I was watching most of the boys stagger out to try and have a kick, and they couldn't kick. And I thought, shit, I've got a chance here. I thought, I'll go out. As I was walking out, who staggers across to the line? Basil Campbell, barefoot, and a little bit pissed. He grabs the footy, it just goes bang, 70 metres. So when I sat back down, I said, that was the end of that. I ain't going to try and beat that. So yeah, that was a fun memory of mine. The shirt that I'm wearing is the one game that really stood out, is because this is the 5 in a row premiership shirt that we put out, and when we won in '78, '79, we won all 5 premierships, which in itself is really something that you don't dream about, is playing in 5 premierships. Bad enough playing in 1, let alone 5 from one club in one day. So it's pretty historic to me, and it means a lot to me because, you know, people can play for hundreds of games and win premierships and win medals and stuff, but you can never play with a club with 5. We win 5 premierships in a row. So, yeah, that's pretty special, and you can't buy that. So yeah, that's a pretty important memory. Plus all the other premierships I played in up with St Mary's. I can't remember how many. I think I played in 3 or 4 maybe. But it's a great club, great people, and You know, that's, it's always been, and it was a way of me getting out of pre-season training down in Adelaide, because Jack Cody, my coach, used to let me come up to Darwin and I'd go back match fit. So I always maintained that there was a lot of great footballers who played at St Mary's, but I think the one that stood out with me was young Cyril Rioli, Cyril boy, not the young one, the old boy. He was pretty good. He was like a little panther. Like, you know, the way he moved on the field. And yeah, I think he was one of my favourite players up here. As were a lot, but I think he stood out because he was only a small bloke. Oh, geez, he could play footy. And he had all the skills. And that's what any good coach is looking for, a player with good skills, could play forward or back. Well, looking back that, yeah, it was sort of magic. Well, I mean, you look at St Mary's side back then, geez, like, the Duns, the Riolis, Athanasia, blokes like that, Albert, Cabillo, you know, awesome side. I mean, KJ was our coach, but we didn't really need a coach, I don't think, because KJ would just tell us go out and play, and that's just what we did, because we're such a good side. In a normal side, they have about 6 or 7 good players on average. St Mary's had 20, plus 2 on the bench as well, so, you know, they're all awesome sides. And playing those sides was pretty awesome itself, because you know when you got the ball, or you needed to get the ball, that what to do was run to position and you get it, lace out. And that's what made it easy playing footy. Well, I'm glad I came up here in the first place, because my children were born up here, one born in Alice Springs. And, you know, the footy side of it was really great, but footy's been a big part of my life. Well, my family played footy. I come from a big footballing family, 11 boys, geez. And they all played football except for one. Yeah, well, most people think I come from Darwin, but I don't. I come from South Australia. But I tend to think Darwin's more home now than Adelaide, because my kids are up here and I enjoy living up here. Yeah, actually I'm lucky really, because I've got the best of 2 worlds, because I've got Adelaide and Darwin and Alice Springs in the middle. So, but the biggest thing I won was the friendships that I have up here, that I still have, that I cherish. And that's something that most footballers will always say, that, you know, what they get out of football is the friendships and fellowships that come long after your football's finished, because our stories get better,